It's Alex from Techaeris.com, and welcome to the new vlog. Welcome back, guys. It's Alex from Techaeris.com, and we are starting a new vlog just for you guys. Considering that I have quit my full-time job and I am doing this 100% of the time as my full daily job, we decided we're going to do a little more with video and bring you guys a little more content on YouTube. We've been doing the website for the past 5.5 years, and we've done really well with that, and now we want to get into video, and we're just going to take it from there. We're naming the vlog Radiophonicus. That is Latin for broadcast. If you're familiar with the vlog, with the blog, the term eris is air in Latin. So we decided to continue the Latin trend and use that for our vlog. I'll probably just refer to it as the vlog, but just thought it would be nice to have a little name for it. So Radiophonicus, if you want to know how to say that, that's how you say that. Or you can just call it the Techaeris blog, whatever you like to do. This is going to be a really informal vlog. There's nothing huge here. We're testing the waters. We're going to see what we can do with this. I'm new to this. I've been poring over ways to introduce myself, and I know a lot of YouTubers have a lot of different intros, from hey, what's going on, guys, to all that kind of stuff. Really am trying just to be myself. I don't want to copy anybody, and we just want to go over the format here. Is just going to be going over the tech news of the week, the past week that we covered on the site. So that's just basically it, guys. We're gonna maybe do some unboxings here and there. We're gonna do might do some micro reviews of certain products, but it's not going to be anything overly complicated to start with. We wanna kind of ease our way into this. So we're excited to be doing this. I'm excited to be doing this, and we're going to try to do this on a weekly basis. See how time treats us. So. Without further ado, let's just get started on things. We'll just go over a few things that that we saw at CES. Actually, CES 2019. We've been back for a couple weeks now, but some really cool things out there. We actually gave Best of CES, which we'll link below. Is the LG TVR, which is the rolling screen OLED television with the soundbar. Really badass, really nice looking device. The engineering on it is amazing. It's amazing what they can do these days. That we gave that television a Best of CES because of its engineering and its ingenuity. I don't think that's going to be a TV that most of us are going to buy. Price point's probably going to be pretty high. I think it's going to be a niche item. But heck, I mean, if we could afford it, that'd be great. But I think the average person's not going to be buying that TV, more so dreaming about it than anything. The other one that we saw that we really enjoyed, and I think that deserved an award this year, was the Samsung 98-inch. I believe the 98-inch. Let's see, I'm going to go back to my article here. Yep, Samsung 98-inch 8K QLED TV. That is a behemoth. Again, yet another device that's massive, and not only in scale but in price, so likely not a lot of people are going to be purchasing that, but just the enormity of the television is overwhelming. It's huge. Probably way too much for most people's living rooms or family rooms anyway. I think 65, 70 inch is probably like the breaking point for most. But that was an amazing television. The Samsung has come quite a bit of ways with their QLED technology versus the OLED of LG and others, and like Sony. OLED has been praised quite a bit for its deep blacks and its contrast, but it does have a weak point with burn-in. So QLED does not have the burn-in problem, but they had issues with haloing and contrast and blacks not being deep enough. But from what we saw at CES, Samsung's QLED technology has gotten better. We've reviewed a few Samsung TVs in the past, and we've noticed that the blacks are much deeper than they have been in the past, and the contrast is great, and whites are crisp, and everything's just sharp. The colors are amazing on QLED TVs. But they've caught up to LG, I think, and I think that the one area that they're a little bit behind is in the thinness of the television. But I think that the LG is using OLED panels. They're able to make them a lot thinner than the LCD QLEDs of Samsung. So I'm not sure how much more thin Samsung can actually get their panels using QLED. But of course, micro LEDs on its way. So we'll be seeing more of that. What else did we cover in CES? Oh yes, the Google clock, the Lenovo Smart Clock. That was pretty neat little device. I know I saw some comments on that. Not liking the bezels. The bezels were a little too big. They thought the bezels should be thin. We're always about thinner bezels, aren't we? We just want no bezels. And I get it. That I understand that. But this device is actually smaller than what when you first look at it. When we first saw it at CES, I was a little surprised. It's really a small desk side or bedside clock, and it's a nice little device. It's not more than it needs to be, which is what's good, and it's priced right. I think about $79.99. So it's not a full-on like Lenovo Smart Display, but it's just gives you the needed information that you want, and you can listen to music on. You can have an music alarm set. It's just a really cool device. We really enjoyed it, and I think that Google and Lenovo did a good job bringing us that. Oh yeah, the Samsung Space Monitor. Now that's another one that was just really cool. Great for city dwellers in small apartments. They want to save space on their desk. We saw this a while back before CES, and it's a pretty amazing monitor. Its draw is not in size. I think it's 27 inch. Yeah, so it's not like a huge monitor, but the ability to fold it up flat against the wall and have different angles you can work at and look at it is really helpful. And the cable management on it is also pretty nice as well. So yeah, let's talk about some of the stories we went over this past week. Unsolved Mysteries coming back to Netflix, or coming to Netflix, coming back from the dead, from the grave. When I was a kid, I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries on NBC, and I remember Robert Stack being the host. And so I'm really excited to see what Netflix is going to do with this series. It was a really good series, and hopefully they'll stay true to the original source material. So, let us know in the comments below if you're excited for Unsolved Mysteries. Are you as old as I am? You can actually remember the original series with Robert Stack, in the 80s. That was I think 87 or 86 or something like that. Yeah, let us know in the comments below. You're looking forward to that, and also more Netflix originals. Obviously, with Unsolved Mysteries, Netflix is pouring more money into more original series because they need to compete. Given that studios like Disney and Universal Studios are starting to move over to attempting their own streaming services, which is probably going to limit the amount of content that they're going to contract out to Netflix. So that means Netflix has to kind of pivot and make a turn to compete with that, because if they don't get the content from somewhere, they have to develop it. So that's why we're seeing things like Unsolved Mysteries and Making a Murderer, the Punisher series, all the Marvel series. Even though the Marvel series are all gone, we don't know exactly what's going on with the Punisher. But yeah, Netflix is really needing to make moves to compete with the big boys again. They were doing really well for a long time, but now that everybody wants to dip their toe in the water, which I feel like is going to be a detriment to the user, is once it gets fragmented that way, where studios are starting to make their own streaming services and basically forcing users to subscribe to multiple streaming services, which then you have multiple amounts you're paying out, then that just kind of adds up to, you know, more money than most people wanted to pay. So that's why Netflix and Hulu were great, is because everything was kind of centralized into one streaming service, and you could get all that for a decent price. So we'll see how that all pans out. We'll see how the market reacts to multiple streaming services and see what happens. It'll be an interesting, very interesting time once that all starts rolling out in mass. So Windows 10 Mobile updates ending in this December, and Microsoft is suggesting that you pick up an iPhone or an Android device and just put a nail in the coffin of Windows 10 Mobile and Windows Phone. We've talked about it for years now. You know, many people have thought that Windows 10 Mobile was dead already a couple of years back, and a lot of purists and a lot of fans have tried to keep the brand going. Even Microsoft tried to keep the brand going, but really it was lack of apps and app development that really has hurt Windows 10 Mobile. Personally, I really enjoyed Windows 10 Mobile. I enjoyed the interface. It was a very nice interface. I liked the UI. It was fluid. The devices even were great. A lot of the Lumia phones were solid hardware devices. It just needed software. It didn't have that. It didn't have the apps that people wanted. It didn't. Developers weren't developing. You know, they just weren't. The ecosystem wasn't there, and it wasn't built out enough to where the phone was usable by normal non-business people. There was a lot of, you know, Windows 10 Mobile was good like BlackBerry for business users, but for consumers, which is where most of the market is, it just didn't make sense. So rip Windows 10 Mobile, rip Windows Phone. We'll miss you. So, you know, we just have to move on, just like with BlackBerry. I wouldn't doubt, though, that at some point we see a Lumia device or at least a Windows Microsoft device with Android on it. They're already integrating Android into the Windows 10 and doing more of that. So that'll be exciting. It'll be interesting to see what kind of hardware Microsoft brings out. If this is all speculation on my part, if they do end up doing that, it'll be interesting to see them develop that and see how the hardware stacks up against other Android hardware that's out there, like Samsung, LG, and the others, and Google's own Pixels. Speaking of Google, Google acquires smartwatch technology from Fossil Group. The Fossil's been a big player in the watch industry for years. Remember back in the 80s and early 90s when I purchased several dozen Fossil watches. I still have a few of them. Some of them I gave away, some of them I sold. But they also had to pivot in the market, and they started developing smartwatch technology. And actually, the company says that it's been one of their biggest growth segments in their business, is the smartwatch portion of their business. So Google has just acquired, I think it was $40 million worth of smartwatch technology from Fossil Group. So if you go back through our website, you'll see a lot of Fossil smartwatch reviews. We've done a few, and they're really fantastic watches. Not only in hardware, but they've managed to make Wear OS usable, and it's a good system. I really enjoyed the Fossil smartwatches. But what's even, for me, more hidden in this story is that the fact that could Google be purchasing the smartwatch technology to make a Google Pixel watch? Google hasn't really jumped in with 2 feet on smartwatches. The Android Wear OS, Wear OS is their operating system, and many other smartwatch makers use it, from TicWatch to Fossil to just a ton of them that use Wear OS. LG uses it, Samsung uses it. Actually, no, Samsung uses Tizen, I think. But it'll be interesting to see if a Pixel Watch comes out of this. It's going to be, it would, I think, given that the Apple Watch, I think we know, not that I think, but we know the Apple Watch is the best-selling smartwatch out there. I have one myself, and it just works perfectly seamless with your iPhone. So we'll see if Google is attempting to do the same thing with the with this purchase, to see if they come with a Pixel Watch that is just a great seamless experience with their Pixel line of smartphones. That'll be something if they do that. So, well, guys, that is it for this first edition of the Techaeris vlog, Radiophonicus. I wanted to make it short, just short and sweet. It's going to be a developing thing. You're going to find, hopefully, that I don't pause as much, hopefully, as I continue to do this, and I don't stutter as much. It's going to take some time. Bear with me. I appreciate you guys subscribing. Right now, we're, I think, at 964 subscribers. We just need to get that subscription number up over 1,000. Help us do that. Share this channel with your friends, with your social media contacts. Hopefully, we'll have more content. We're doing the weekly vlog, hopefully, and coming up here in February, I have a kind of a break. We'll announce that later on. Maybe next week I'll make some announcements on that, where I won't have a vlog for a few weeks. But I know that's really quick, starting a vlog now and then taking a break. But more will be explained later. But hey, thanks for sticking around. I hope that you can come back. I hope you will come back for our future vlogs, and you know, just wish us luck. Keep us in your prayers that we continue to develop our content here on YouTube, and that we streamline it and we make it the best it can be for you guys. And that's what we're here for. And hey, we'll see you on the other side.